Happy Carnival! And welcome to another episode of Tales from the Parade Route. So, this is our 2026, I guess, Carnival recap.
Yeah.
Let's see, for starters, I guess we'd be remiss if we didn't start just before the Carnival season with our event, Countdown to King Cake.
Probably the greatest event of the year, I would say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was incredible. The turnout, the support that we had. I was so happy to see all the dance teams that came out and performed.
Yeah.
The dance teams that came out and volunteered with the Leisurettes.
We couldn't have done it without them.
Yeah. When I gave away the checks, and I gave the one to the Bad Moms That Dance, I was telling them a story that is true, that with the People's Choice Award, so we had 1,000 doubloons altogether that were our voting tokens, shall we say. So you'd buy a token and each person would put one in a little bucket that we had for each dance team. And at some point, the Leisurettes came to me and they're like, "Hey, Pickle, we're out of tokens. We don't have any more doubloons." I was like, "All right." So I went and looked at all the cups, and there was one or two of them that had, were pretty well filled. One of them obviously being like overflowing. And what I would do is I would count out like 50, 100 of them and put a little business card in there that had whatever I took out notated on it. And, I'd finish counting out like a stack of 50 or a stack of 100, whatever, and I'd give it to the girls. And the second that I'd finish like doing that and like the cup would be empty, and I'd like they'd be like,
the Bad Moms didn't like to see it empty. They were refilling
the millisecond that we'd finish counting out the balloons and putting the chip in, you'd turn and then you'd just hear from behind you, the crinkle or whatever of hundreds of doubloons going back into this bucket.
Yeah, we might have to make a purple, green, and gold for different values.
Right?
Next year.
Just like when you go to the casino, they've got like 4 gold ones. That means they've got 1,000 votes. So
but everybody there, the spirit was very high. I was kind of worried that being so early in the season, everybody was still getting ready, so to speak, and not really in the carnival spirit yet. But man, everybody arrived just ready to go, and somewhere midway of the event, I kind of stopped in the back and just kind of looked around, and man, I was glowing.
Yeah.
It was just fantastic to see everybody get together and, kind of let off a little steam right before everything got going.
Yeah, and the photo booth, so I got a link to all of the pictures from the photo booth, and I got to flip through them to see, and seeing everybody's poses and faces and all that, it made me giggle. I'm going to be uploading those this week so that everyone can enjoy it as much as I have. There's a lot of stuff that I'm going to be posting this week that, just recovering from Carnival.
It was so short, everything's so packed together.
Yeah. Let's see. So, besides Countdown to Carnival or Countdown to King Cake, which I can guarantee you we will see a Countdown to King Cake 2027.
Sweet, I'm going.
I think I'll go too.
Oh, nice.
That was an absolute blast. And I thought it was the perfect way to ring in the carnival season. Let's see. Like 4 days later after that, we rode in the Mandy's parade.
Yeah. They're so gracious to us. I really love them. That's what, the 4th or 5th time I think we've ridden in it.
Yeah,
it's been a few times, but That's a blast. It's a fun little parade on their, on the lakefront,
Yeah.
and it was a little shorter this year with the construction going on, but it had a nice crowd out there. A bunch of the dance teams kind of joined their party, and
Yeah,
it's a nice gathering. They
get a
raised some
lot of
good
support
money
from
and-
the local dance teams over there,
Mhm.
and they had a couple of them from I guess what you would consider to be South Shore dance teams.
Yeah.
That went over there to support them. Like I
Mhm.
remember the Sirens were in there.
Yeah, they've participated the past couple years.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a nice get together for them too, and I think they raised some pretty good money at that event for their charities, and there's a good amount of king cakes and gumbo and all that stuff. So
Yeah, yeah. All the different king cakes out there, and then seeing all the people. It's a great way to start off carnival the carnival season for for the milkshakers.
well, you skipped something.
What?
Funny 40 fellas.
Oh yeah. So yes, we went to Funny 40 Fellows, and Funky Uptown Crew, and then
Which, by the way, had great crowds over the whole route from what I was seeing.
yeah.
It was wild. I've never seen that many people out there for that.
Yeah, yeah. On my way to Joan of Arc, driving down St. Charles, usually there's a lot of, and it's no disrespect to those two crews, but usually there's a lot of dead space.
Well, I think people are making it their kickoff tradition.
Yeah.
It's built up slowly. We've been doing it for years, obviously, but you were seeing little pockets here and there, but you just see a lot of them now.
Yeah, yeah. Like the entire St. Charles seemed like it had a good crowd, and at one point I even texted you and I said, "Did I miss something? That Bacchus got rescheduled to tonight." But yeah, that was amazing to see for them, and yeah, they always are a kick in the pants as a way to start off the carnival season.
I love that get together at the barn beforehand, where you start to see all the little crews come together, Crew of Oak and all that, show up and help out. But I think they announced their themes. There are quite a few of them announced their themes over there that night, and
Yeah,
then they introduce the king and queen, and pretty quickly roll out and go, wait, and then
yeah,
that's about it. And then you wait for Funky Uptown Crew or Uptown Funky Crew. I always get that backwards.
Funky Uptown Crew.
Funky Uptown Crew, and yeah, they seem like they're having a blast. Both of those crews.
Yeah.
You know.
And then Joan of Arc had an amazing turnout this year. They've really picked up a lot of support from the community over the past several years. Not just from a spectator standpoint, but they've had several of the dance teams now that are performing in their in their procession, and not necessarily in their traditional outfits, like
the Angels, I know, do a little something special for it.
Yeah, the Muffaladas were they were all dressed like fire. I forget what the exact theme is, but it's obviously right around when she was
Martyred.
Yeah. And the chorus girls I know were in there. There was one or two other ones. I think the Dollies were in it this year. So yeah, it's really cool to see all the support that's backing that group now. Let's see. So we attended a bunch of things off parade route this year.
Yeah.
It seems like even with a shorter season, we attended several more than usual. Before the parade season, we were able to attend the Mandy Ball, which is always a blast. And then we attended the Sirens Ball.
Yeah, well, I showed up a little late for that one. I went to the coronation for Carrollton that evening. But yeah, both were really nice. It's nice to see the Sirens have good support out there, even though they stole our vacation.
Yeah.
No, I think they were there before us, but
Yeah,
anyway.
they've been there for several years.
Yeah, the nice little party they put together there. And
Yeah, that was, I mean, we had a blast at it, Let's see, I think that same weekend was when we went to the symphony coronation.
Yeah, what a wonderful crew he has. I mean, he was like, "What do you think of my crew?" And I'm like, "Man, I don't think I qualify to be in your crew. Everybody's a doctor or lawyer in here."
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, we got a lot of them." But
Yeah.
frankly, I was, with the news that they were canceling their parade, and then it turned out they were just, changing routes or days or whatever. I was really worried about the health of that crew and, if they could survive. But after seeing that, I mean, they're fine. They're in good hands, in good shape. So, yeah, I wish them the best. I hated that I missed that parade this year. I really wanted to make it.
Yeah, I loved seeing their parade. One slight critique that I will give is don't put your beautiful costumes that you do for your maids up on the second floor. Larry makes some awesome costumes.
Yeah. They're very unique. His style is different.
I love the glow lighting stuff that he puts into his costumes, and the pageantry of his costumes, shall we say?
They're really, I think made for a ball appearance.
Yeah.
Much more so than the parade.
Yes. But when he passed me, he was on the second floor.
Oh.
His costume. And I was like, I was looking so forward to seeing his costume. I wanted to see it.
Yeah.
Again, he puts on, that's one of the big highlight things of that parade for me is to see those costumes. And they also bring in a lot of the inner city schools for the bands, which that's always refreshing to see out in Metairie.
Yeah, it's much more of an uptown feel.
Yeah. But yeah, we had a blast at his coronation, and I had a great time at his parade.
Yeah.
That was just one thing that I wish I could have seen was had a better shot at his costumes.
Yeah, and that's something you're going to hear from me a lot on this recap is I missed a whole week. I missed from Monday through Friday, in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
From being sick. So I missed a lot this year, but
I got knocked down for one day.
Yeah.
And right when I started feeling bad, I called the doctor, and he gave me some steroids and some kind of medicine.
Yeah, I mean, I muscled through that second weekend, but I really didn't feel normal again until Monday, the second Monday. So, but I've still got to do a lot of fun things this year.
Yeah. Let's see, some of the other events that we went to during the carnival season. We went to the Blush Ball.
Always great.
Yeah.
They raised so much money for a wonderful cause, and
I think it was.
But
they were trying to reach I think it was the $1 million mark.
$500,000, I believe.
$500,000. And I know that when we interviewed with them, they were a little bit worried whether or not they were going to make it.
Yeah.
It looked like they blew it out the water.
Yeah, it sounded. From what I heard, the tickets were a little lighter in sales this year than compared to previous years. But yeah, they hit their goal and went a bit above it. I'm not sure the end total, but it was, it's always in the 50, 60 grand range that they raise for them, which is wonderful for throwing a party. Hell,
Yeah.
you know.
And
But,
we also got a new piece of decoration for the
Oh yeah,
studio
it's
that
nice.
night. Donated to us by the lovely folks over at Princess Productions.
Yeah.
um, yeah, so we had an absolute blast at Blush Ball. Stomper Ball. So this was my first time getting to go to the Stomper Ball.
Me too. Yeah.
And I mean, I knew that it would be insanity, and they did not disappoint. When I walked in, they had the Stomper band up there playing with Johnny Sketch, and they were playing nothing but video game music because their theme was game. I think it was straight up Game On, or it
Yeah,
was
it
game
was.
related. And yeah,
There was a lot of songs I'm not sure I've ever expected to hear from a band.
yeah, yeah. Hearing, walking in and they're playing the Tetris song was quite an unexpected thing to see.
Uh, it's fun to see. Well, not that they're ever real serious, but it's fun to watch them all kind of let their hair down, so to speak, and just have fun together with everybody. Because I mean, the way you can kind of go around and interact with different groups, and of course there was a bunch of trains happening, and I mean dance trains, whatever you call that.
Yeah, like conga line.
Conga lines,
Yeah.
there you go. Better way of saying it. But yeah, that's a good party.
Yeah. Some of the costumes that stick out in my mind was they had the guy who was dressed as a claw machine,
Yeah.
and then some that weren't even in the. Also they had the Rock'em Sock'em Robots guys, which had me laughing, and then some that I saw that weren't even in like the costume contest that had me laughing. There was I don't know if it was a couple or just two friends, whatever, but they were dressed like they were on Legends of the Hidden Temple from Nickelodeon.
Oh.
And then I saw another group, a couple that they were dressed in supermarket sweep costume,
Yeah. That was
sweatshirts.
a big group that did that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, some of them I couldn't put my finger on, but luckily the CEO of Princess Productions helped me out.
Yeah.
She was like, well, that's from this video game or from that, D&D series or whatever,
Yeah, so that had me. That was also a great time. I can't wait to go to that one again. I know coming up here in a couple months they've got their in June
The summer ball.
The summer ball, yeah. Because just like all guys, 2 balls. Let's see. The Excalibur ball. I went to. I did not attend Chewbacca's because I was at the Excalibur ball, which, I mean, this isn't just me sucking up to my own crew.
It is.
It's always a beautiful
Yeah.
presentation. Missy and the team at D&D make amazing costumes. Seeing our queen and king up there, and several of our friends who were maids and royalty, was really amazing to see. It was a magical night. The band that was playing had everybody dancing, and the food was good. So yeah, I mean, A+ on that night.
Yeah.
I know that you did not attend.
Yeah.
Because you were doing.
I was with the Carrollton's King's March. It leads from the Ardennes to I can't think of the name of the place. The po' boy place at the end of St. Charles.
Coup de Browns.
Coup de Browns, yeah, thank you. You know, it's an informal march. The carolettes dance in front of us, and we just kind of show the king a party, you know. And but it was a lot of fun. There was a big group of people did it this year. The king was having a blast, and you couldn't have wiped that smile off of his face for anything.
Yeah, so after the ball, you know, I messaged you and said, "Hey, ball was great," and you were like, "Hey, we're still out. Come party with us."
We might have stayed out too long that night.
Yeah, y'all were nowhere near where the march was at that point. And when I showed up, it looked like y'all had a really good time.
we were still on our way to having even bigger time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we might have stayed out a little too late that night, but you know, hey, that was kind of a good kickoff too. You know, that was kind of really when you get into the meat and potatoes when everything's really kind of going. You know.
Yeah. Let's see. We both attended both the Queen's party and the King's party with Excalibur.
Oh yeah.
Which the Queen's party was at Parkway, and you know I've said this. You know, it's like I'm used to seeing Parkway in one way, to where it's, you know, and it's not meant to be a disrespectful term for it, but it's like a kitschy, you know, like
Yeah.
to where it feels like you're sitting underneath someone's patio having a po'
Yeah.
boy. That night, it felt like you were in
Oh, it was a
the
fancy
Queen's Palace.
wedding, yeah.
You know, I mean, it was, and the food was spectacular. You know, I mean, which, you know, I'd expect nothing less
Yeah.
from Parkway. You know, the company was wonderful. You know, and then the King's party was over at Southport.
Mhm.
Again, you know, good friends of ours, obviously. You know, and they did it up great over there as well. That, you know, again, I'm used to seeing Southport look a particular way.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it looked like an elegant ballroom that night. You know?
He had a 3-tier king cake.
Yes.
It's kind of impressive.
Yes. So, you know, to both Sandra and John, I hope y'all had the most amazing of rides as our king and queen. Hail Excalibur. Let's see. What other events did we go to? Jeez.
Yeah, they all
Oh,
kind
the
of.
Tux Ball. You went
Oh
to
yeah,
the Tux
the
Ball.
Tux Ball. So yeah, I missed Crew de Rue that night to go to the ball, but that it's great. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a costume party. There's a band going. And there's a million people. Then they do their little mini parade through the ball.
Yeah.
Who was it? Carver, I think, marched through with their whole band, which is a wild scene.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild when you just start to hear like the drum, you know, the drum line tapping off the march,
Yeah.
and then.
Yeah, because I mean,
You know,
it's
like,
a big ballroom, but you know, that's a huge band. You know, so when they come through and sort of surround you,
Yeah.
you know, like in that little pocket, just listening to it, it's great. You know.
Yeah.
And there's such a fantastic band, and the way they perform with all their dancers and all that,
Yeah.
it's really cool to see like that.
And then the costumes at the Tux Ball.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Tux having the persona of being a lot of toilet humor.
Mhm.
It makes perfect sense that the ball is a proverbial shit show. You know, that the crazy costumes, the you know, the fact that when they announce their maids, they're all in French maid costumes marching the
I
floor.
love their the reading of their
Yeah, their
Their,
credentials. Or whatever.
yeah, accomplishments, so to speak. They're pretty funny. Uh, they're always a little innuendos in there, and a lot of them are funny because they're quite a few of them are lawyers and professionals
Right.
that's how they let off their steam, but yeah, they're whoever their MC is a pretty funny guy when it comes to that.
Yeah. So that night, I actually, just as we were entering into really the heart of the carnival season, there was a very bad cold snap to where the night of the Tux Ball and Poseidon, I was out at Poseidon in like the 20-degree weather. And I was in our usual spot, like right near the lineup, and I walked up to the the school where all like the dance teams and all were usually congregating. And there was a couple of the dance teams that dropped because of the weather.
That is brutal.
And there was only like 3 or 4 dance teams that stuck it out. The Weedats were there. The Nautical Gals were there. Let's see, the Amigos were there, and the 610 Stompers. And the thing that had me laughing the loudest was that Slab was out there in their costume. Sans Long Johns. He was like, "No, I'm a purist, baby. I'm gonna do it." And he had a bell that he was going around, and all of his fellow stompers who decided to wear long johns and and extra layers underneath their gym blues. He'd go and dong, shame, dong, weak,
I think Slab, he must just, that's just part of him now.
Oh, yeah.
I think he just wears that everywhere, rain or shine, snow or heat wave,
Yeah.
Because I've heard stories of them going to New York all in costume in a blizzard.
Right. Yeah, he was giving them the business for not wearing long johns and sweatpants and all that underneath. He was like, "Nah, because once you get moving, you're all right." And I mean,
yeah, it's probably true.
Yeah, I'm sure that it is very true, but I'm sure it's still pretty cold.
Yeah. Oh, that was a bitter cold night.
Yeah.
I was dressed up as Red Riding Hood's grandmother, the wolf.
So you were nice and toasty.
No, because I had just kind of a moo-moo on.
Oh, I thought that.
But I was also inside.
Yeah. Next time that you wear it, get like the fuzzy.
I had fuzzy
leggings.
feet and hands, and I had a little hat with the ears, but it was pretty much a moo-moo.
Yeah. Poseidon was a beautiful parade. I wish that more of the bands could have been able to parade, but understanding.
Yeah.
Based on the circumstances.
How was the crowds out there?
They were a little bit light, just because
Yeah.
I'm sure that the cold scared a bunch of them away. Which I mean, the previous night for Titans, it was it was getting chilly.
Yeah, it got cold toward the end of the night. We kind of skipped over Titan, but yeah, I mean that's a nice parade as always. It's I like that the community really kind of welcomes it in, and it was a nice crowd. But yeah, you could tell throughout the night it was getting colder and colder.
Yeah.
By the time we were leaving there, it was cold.
Let's see. I think it was the next day. I think that we went to the float dens.
Okay.
To where Bacchus had their open house. which if you've never been to the Bacchus open house, I mean, it's always a big affair. They've got all the floats lit up, and if it's got if it's supposed to have bubbles coming off of it, they got bubbles coming off of it. If it's got smoke coming off of it, it's got smoke coming off of it.
Yeah, it's kind of their full turn on everything dress rehearsal for the parade.
Yeah,
but it's great that you can see all that beautiful artwork up close and kind of take it in a little more than it's just riding past you. You know, because I mean, I was there last weekend. They already have them torn down.
Yeah,
you know, they're starting already. It's a whole year process. You know,
the the variety of throws that they had this year seems like even more than what we've ever seen any parade throw before.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you look at really each float has a selection that
every float had like a dozen or two signature throws.
Yeah, they like smaller parades might have that many different throws for the whole parade. They have them for kind of each float, which is got to be a logistical nightmare for poor Jennifer.
Yeah, so Bacchus, they had a ton of really creative throws, and obviously the socks being one of the things to wear. I'd almost say that Bacchus has become like that. Their signature throw, I would almost say,
socks
is socks. Just because
they've been doing those little glass beads with the charms lately. This year they had 20 different ones, so that was kind of a challenging collection to get those as well as the socks. But I got them all.
I've seen that several of the. It seems like the national parks float seems to be one of the chase figures, shall we say, for like their signature throws this year from Bacchus. I've seen a lot of people looking for like their socks, the hats, because they had like the big
Forest Ranger
Ranger hats.
My main goal going to their open house is, of course, to say hi to Clark and the other friends, see the floats, but to get a set of doubloons. I mean, I missed a couple of the other ones because I was hunting down some poker chips.
Yeah.
But, as you know, I'm a wildly passionate Bacchus collector, so a doubloon collector, so to get all their doubloons is always a challenge, but I did manage to get them all.
Yeah. Let's see. So that day was pretty action-packed with open houses because there was like 4 different ones going on that day. And I know after Bacchus, you had, I think, in between still getting over the sickness stuff, you were helping Princess Productions with moving and getting things situated there to where you weren't able to attend the other ones, but I attended the Toth open house that day, which that was really cool to see all their floats.
Yeah, that's got to be pretty impressive.
And seeing their membership congregate, that they had a real good turnout for that, and it was a beautiful event. They also that day, I went to the Hermes open house, and again, to see their floats up close and like more than just like, okay, there it goes. That was really special to see, and their open house presentation is really beautiful as well.
Yeah, I mean, I always see those floats at night. It seems like they're, built for night, but, with all their lighting and whatnot that they do. But it still has to be very nice to see all congregated together and
Yeah.
just kind of on display like that.
Yeah. When it comes to the statues, the front piece props
Hmm.
of their floats, they're up there in like the top three, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful floats.
Hmm.
Let's see. And then also I got to go by the Allah open house that day as well.
Nice.
So I got to see our friends over in Allah. Um, they were doing all their float load in stuff and
Mhm.
throw distribution and all that day. So got to see a handful of our friends from Allah, and they were all real excited for their parade coming up. All four of them. You could feel the energy in
Yeah.
the room of their riders anticipating the ride. That
Yeah, the
day,
other two. Oh, go ahead.
that day also, I made it out to Nefertiti at the very, 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 very end of the route this year.
Yeah, usually we catch them right at the, right as they're rolling out. They're still kind of adjusting costumes as they go.
Right, yeah.
But I always like Nefertiti. It's a good parade. The ladies are always having fun, and
Yeah.
costuming is beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful as always. Xenia was happy to see me out there. I think that when I wasn't in my usual spot, she was a little concerned. She was like, what's wrong with the tails guys? Where are they? And then there I am at the very, very end. And they had, they had the Pussyfooters, the Nola Lolas, they had the Alter Egos, they had a couple of the dance teams marching with them, which I think this was the first year that the Pussyfooters marched with them.
Yeah, I remember seeing Alter Egos, and usually that's the only time I ever see the baby dolls is that parade.
Yeah, Bejurettes were marching with them.
Oh, okay, nice.
So yeah, there was it was great to see our friends in in the parade and in the the supporting dance teams as well. Let's see. Highlights. Let's point out a couple of super highlight things. Our ride in Excalibur.
Yeah, great crowds. It was nice weather.
Yeah, that
Seemed
was
like everybody was just having a blast on the route. It was very.
yeah.
There was a very good feel in the air for it. I mean, you could kind of feel it before we got there.
Yeah.
You
You had asked me earlier in the season how many times I've ridden in Excalibur, and I think we figured out that I rode in it 8 times now,
Yeah, something like that.
and that you're 7. This was my favorite ride in Excalibur. I felt that we had great crowds. I was real happy to see all the signs for the eggs, for the baby dragons, for the balloons.
Oh, you know what I found at my house yesterday or this week while cleaning up? Giant box full of baby dragons.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, oh man. So I knew I left stuff behind.
Well, that just means you got them ready for
Yeah.
next year. Let's see. I know that the crew continues to be excited about having the Snappo kits,
Hmm.
the like Lego
Yeah.
type bricks.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I was real happy with the ride. The after party, everyone was in great spirits. The pre-parade party, everyone was in great spirits. I thought that we had some. You and I walked the dance teams to go bring the proverbial big check to
Yeah.
our lovely friends in the Bombshells, and we got to see some of the dance teams that were performing with us, and yeah, I mean, we had a great, in theory, we had a great parade lined up that I hope that all of our attendees had as great of a time as we did.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get to see a lot of the costuming because I didn't attend the ball or see the parade, but I'm sure they were beautiful as always, as Misty does and D&D. The floats look fantastic. Kind of walked them when we were doing the load up, and they all looked very nice. It should have been a good parade for everybody, all the revelers
Yeah.
out there.
Let's see. 2 days later, you rode in Carrollton.
Rode in Carrollton.
How was your ride?
Oh, the ride was great. We took off a little late, unfortunately, due to I heard Femme Fatale had a breakdown up the way, so we were about 2 hours late getting started. But it's a great ride. That uptown route, I mean, you can't beat it. It's going to be fun, and going down Jefferson onto Napoleon with all the families that kind of have their traditions there. It's great, can't really beat it.
So there was one other ride that you and I got to do together,
Mm-hmm.
which was we got to ride in Okeanos.
Yeah.
We were on the
Brand new
the
paddle wheel.
christening ride of the SS Okeanos.
Maiden voyage, yeah.
And they had us on top in the front two spots. And that was my first time riding uptown. Now, and I've said this to people off air. I've seen, you can see the crowd and how thick the crowds get on St. Charles from the ground. Like when you're walking to go to the bathroom or to get a hot dog or whatever. You can see the thickness of the crowds, but being up there and seeing it, I'll admit I was starstruck. I was starstruck.
There was a point where I was actually like, I was trying to get you on your mic, and I was like, I can't believe it. I think we rendered him speechless.
Yeah, like at one point when I had the mic in my hand, like I have to imagine that all I kept saying was, "Holy shit, is this real?
Wow!
Holy shit, is this real?"
Well, see, that Sunday always gets really thick towards the end of the day. I was surprised that it was so crowded.
Yeah.
That early, because I mean we rolled at what 10:30.
Yeah.
And it's a fairly quick ride. I mean, I want to say we were done in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, man, it had to be 20 deep the whole way.
Yeah, I mean, at no point did I see it less than at least 10.
Yeah. But when you turn onto Canal, that's kind of the tourist area. That's a little light, typically speaking. But yeah, all the way from, the lineup to that turn on Canal was, I mean, it was packed.
Yeah.
But what a wonderful crew. I mean, I mentioned it a bunch of times on our live, but everybody we met there was just so welcoming to us.
Yeah.
And it's not a big crew, but they put on a great parade, man. And I think they love that spot because, being able to basically go from their lineup and ride the float all the way back to their hotel.
Yeah.
Back to their after party. It's just wonderful. But yeah, they were all having a blast. And I talked to a couple people on the route. Didn't want to really interrupt their ride too much, but yeah, everybody is just so welcoming and supportive of us doing it. And man, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen the live stream of it, you can go look on our YouTube. We have it. posted up there. Additionally, we have some video that we did during like the preparations. You know, like once we were offered the opportunity and we were able to accept it. Like the next day or whatever, we went over there to go start setting up on the float, and they, it was.
Well, plus in a day they made some giant logos for us and stuck them on that brand new float.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I was like, "No, don't mess with your brand new float." And they're like, "No, we're putting it up there." I'm
Right.
like, "Okay."
I was happy that we were able to make the live stream happen. There's a few things that we learned.
That's a little. I mean, yeah, but I think it might be the first time anybody's ever streamed a whole parade because
Yeah,
really up until pretty recently there was no real method of doing it.
right.
So I mean, we went over a Starlink
Yeah.
with multiple cameras, and it worked. There's some spots where it's a little jumpy because of the trees or the overpass or whatever, but it worked.
Yeah. The
So-
big thing that I hope that that video portrays is the amazing the amazing opportunity that it is to see, to ride and see, literally 500,000 people probably
Oh yeah.
on the parade route waiting, and there's 500 kings that in that parade, and it's each rider in that, you know what I mean, to where
Yeah.
like everyone is there to see. Obviously there's one king, that's a person that's declared as the king, but you feel like royalty when you're riding in a parade and there's that many people there cheering for you. They may not necessarily be calling your name particularly, but they're there to see you and the 500 other people who are in your parade.
Yeah, obviously everybody went out early because they heard we were doing a live broadcast.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure,
Let's see. So I have here on my list the change in throws. So since Carnival, we've seen some complaints or commentary about
Yeah.
the quantity of things that were thrown. That there's a lot of people who feel like riders were not throwing as much this year.
Yeah, and I think that's been growing. But I look back 3 or 4 years, and all I would see is a lot of complaints about how much plastic is on the ground. So if you look at it in that perspective, I think the newer throws that are, they're more expensive, number one. So you can't just all day, just unload on people. It's not like we're kids anymore and you got bombs with beads when you knew a guy on a float. It's, they'll give you one nice decorated thing or something like that.
Well, I'll say this, that when we were real little, if you remember, it's like you'd bring a little grocery bag,
Yeah.
and if you got, a handful of things in your grocery bag at the end of the parade, you were like,
Yeah, I won.
man, that was great.
I'm
I
the
won.
winner. Yeah.
And, slowly the economics of Carnival changed to where it was quantities.
Yeah.
And eventually the riders or the spectators started to feel like if I didn't go home with a garbage bag full of throws, it wasn't a great parade. And it's like, no, I like, when it comes to parades, the things that I look for is the quality of the floats, the beauty of the costumes, the quality of the auxiliary groups, whether it be bands or dance teams or just like marching auxiliaries, riding auxiliaries, and the overall fun that you have at the parade.
Hmm.
Like throws almost falls in like sixth or seventh.
Yeah,
For
I
me.
mean,
While
I
it's
want
nice to have a bead or two around my neck when I'm at the parade to make me feel like I'm at a parade,
yeah.
I don't need to look like Mr. T. Yeah.
I love catching stuff. 99% of the stuff that I catch, I don't really want.
Yeah.
Like, so
you
once
give
I
it to-
catch it, I'm handing it off to some little kid.
Yeah.
You know.
Now I do like the, some of the things that I do like to seek after are really special signature, whether it be like hand decorated throws like we have on the shelf, or whether it be something really special like the socks for a crew, or doubloons for a crew, or like this year Iris had a pill box.
Yeah. You
That-
went after that one hard.
That I thought that was really cool, that they had something really useful
Yeah.
and different from, because it's like, yes, like the little red beans and jambalaya and things like that, that grounds crew helps some of these crews with throwing. Those are cool, but like now there's 10 different crews that throw them. So
Yeah.
at one point it was really special when you caught one from Iris. Now there's there's a half dozen other crews or whatever that are throwing it, to where it's still special, but it's not as special.
Yeah,
And it's no disrespect to Iris. I love Iris, but it's
and Iris has really gone out of the way to say, hey, let's limit the beads. Like, the only beads you're really going to catch with them are like have an emblem or something on it. You know what I mean? But most of their throws have become useful items, either that or a display piece.
yeah.
But I hate that there were complaints about the lack of throws, because I really think that that's misdirected, and I don't want to see. I'd really hate to see crews go away from the progress that's been made to kind of limit just stuff on the ground.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to spend $1,000 on beads just to throw on the ground.
Yeah,
There's no fun in that.
Yeah, it's depressing to me
Yeah.
when I'm riding on a float and I'm like, "Hey, look!" and I throw you, a dozen beads or whatever, and I watch you step out of the way for them to land on the ground,
Yeah.
knowing full well that like once my float is passed, you ain't picking up them beads. And so much so that if I had the ability to arrive at that spot right after the last float finished and look at that spot, that those beads would still be on the ground right there.
Yes, I mean, over the past 4 or 5 years now, I've thrown mostly glass beads, which don't seem to hit the ground very often.
Yeah.
And then, we hand strung, I want to say 2,500 strands of beads or something this year.
Yeah.
But so a lot of those, I feel like people can wear outside of Mardi Gras. They're actually wearable. It's not just a put it on my neck till I get back to the car.
Yeah.
And then plus a lot of plush I do, even cups. Cups now, you throw them and nobody touches them anymore. They used to be a prize, you know?
I remember years when like you'd see people have like a whole like sleeve of cups that they caught. And they would be like, "Whoa, you caught all those cups?" And it's like, yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm drinking forever, like,
So honestly, I'm probably spending more than I did when, you were just throwing beads. But I'm actually throwing less than I
Yeah.
did as far as quantity.
Yeah.
But
Instead of throwing junk, you're throwing nicer things to where it's like, um, you know, one of the things that I always think of when I'm preparing for a parade is that price point,
yeah,
and not to make it all about economics or whatever,
I mean, it has to
but
be. You know?
I mean, you don't want to be throwing $50 every time that you lift your arm
Yeah,
at a parade,
that get a little
that
pricey.
a lot of the times my nice round number is usually around like 50 cents per
Yeah,
throw.
I think that's about
where,
right.
that's why I throw a lot of moon pies, because like I'd rather have something that's filler that if you see a moon pie, you're gonna pick it up and be like, ooh, I'll munch on this later on in the parade, or
Yeah.
I'll put it in my pocket, and tomorrow when I go to the next parade, I've got a snack. Um, so yeah, it's it's
I think the change was necessary.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully everybody kind of realizes why you're seeing less throws.
yes.
You
And
know,
additionally, I know that some throws prices went up
yeah, of course.
related to the tariff stuff that the president's been putting into place, and due to lack of better words, compromising with different countries,
Right.
to make sure that we're getting a fair. I assume that this is his goal is to make sure that we're getting a fair.
Yeah,
shake
I mean,
on-
that's the goal, of course. The other part of the goal, and what I've kind of heard rumblings about, is more of that production is shifting to the U.S., which is great. You know,
Yeah.
we want as much of that as possible, and give local jobs here. And plus, you're starting to see a lot of artists sell some things. You know, like this year. The one thing that really stands out to me is the glass doubloons that a couple of artists are making. And
Yeah.
the recycled glass doubloons, and then, the hand-strung beads and just various things like that. There's a lot of artists spend all year,
Yeah.
glittering stuff.
Right.
You know.
And I tried to throw more glitter this year to where I threw 50 eggs, something like that.
Yeah, you pretty much cornered
And-
the market on glitter this year.
Yeah, I mean, and
You can open a store.
It kind of gave me a little hobby per se, and I learned a lot more over the past year of how to put out higher quality work, shall we say? So I was proud to be able to put out things that everybody really appreciated. That for sure when someone catches one of our one of the glittered throws, it's 99% of the time it's not just getting thrown into a bag and then getting delivered to the ark next week. That it'll at least be on somebody's mantelpiece or their desk as a totem, shall we say?
But I like that transition that's come about, like getting away from just the regular, Taiwan or Chinese beads. People are, not only is it a good throw, but I think it's good for the crews in many ways, because people have decorating parties and things like that where you kind of getting to know your crew a little better.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point. You
Yeah.
know?
Before I really started doing the eggs, the only people I knew in my crew for the most part was like you and Nikki and Patrick.
Missy, yeah.
And
so-
and like the captain, but through the decorating parties, now I've got lots of friends from the crew that every time that we have a crew get together, I anticipate going to see my friends.
Right. Yeah, to me, that's the whole point of a crew.
Yeah.
It's not just about a ride.
Right.
It's supposed to be a little, that's your little community.
Yeah.
We don't do a whole lot with them outside of Carnival, but we see them a good amount, and it's
Yeah, we do
good to say hi then. And
yeah, we do like a lot of like the little,
Yeah.
you know, we do the meetings and, you know, I try to attend a handful of like the night outs.
yeah,
But yeah, you know, I really enjoy seeing you know, all of our fellow riders.
yeah. So, personally, I hope the trend continues.
Yes.
And like I say, I don't really want anything at a parade anyway. I want to. Well, I'll say that, but I want a hand decorated throw. You know, if I'm lucky enough to get one, and some doubloons. And I'm a pretty
Yeah.
happy guy. Like typically, I feel like I've won nowadays if I have a pocket full of doubloons and one thing in my hand. You know,
Yeah.
so yeah. But we may be a different animal. We're not your typical revelers, being as we go to everything.
But again, you know, it's like when, you know, when you look at the ultimate thing, would you rather have 10 things in a bag that you're bringing home that you can, that you know that you're going to be able to either enjoy them or use them throughout the year,
Yeah.
whether it be, you know, pens.
Oh,
or,
half my cooking utensils now
Yeah.
are Carnival.
Yeah, pens or cooking utensils or, you know, household items.
Hmm.
As opposed to just beads and
Beads in a sack in your attic.
Right.
Because really, unless you ride a, truck parade or something where you can kind of recycle them, what do you do with them?
right.
So,
Do you have a favorite throw that you either caught or saw this year?
I don't know. I got quite a few pretty cool throws this year, but I think my favorite and most useful thing is I got a belt from Bacchus. It's a purple, green, and gold kind of knit belt, and Joel gave it to me at the rendezvous,
Oh,
and it's great. I wear it to work. My boss spotted it the other day. He's like, "That's quite the belt." But no, it's great. It's a good quality belt. It's actually leather on the ends, but no, of course it's Carnival, and it's slightly stretchy, so I can get a little fatter, a little lighter.
I have to say that one of my favorite throws this year, and it's a collectible, is the Crew d'Etat prisoner car.
Oh yeah, those are great. I forgot about those.
So Crew d'Etat this year had a float that was dedicated to the prison escape that happened in August or whatever, and they were throwing a set of I think there was 11 guys that escaped. So it was like
And a
set of
prison
12.
guard.
So it was the prisoners that escaped and the
Guard that helped them.
No, it was the criminal sheriff.
Okay.
That there's a civil sheriff and then a criminal sheriff. You know, she's basically the person in charge of the jail itself. Susan Hudson. And on the back of them, it had the amount of time that they were escaped, how far they got, an interesting fact about their either their escape or their capture, and a funny quote. And yeah, these things were pretty damn hilarious.
Yeah, which has become a hot trade item too. I've seen.
Yeah, there's. Which I mean, I can't imagine that there was, but maybe probably 1,000 of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Made or something, you know.
When I was kind of hunting for all the glass beads from Bacchus, a friend of ours put together a set of them for me, and he's a typical d'etat rider, and he threw one of those sets in there. He didn't tell me about them. I found them later. I'm like, oh, right, look what I found. Because I had heard about them, but I hadn't quite seen any yet.
Yeah. Let's see. Favorite parade that you saw?
Man, I missed so much this year. It's really hard to say, but I thought Proteus was uh, especially beautiful this year.
Yeah.
I always like it's always been a very nice parade, but that one to me kind of stands out, and that yin and yang, if you will, of the old school and super new school parades of the night. It's always very nice to see. But Proteus, I love that parade. The way they decorate their floats and their throws and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I probably caught like 20 pairs of socks.
From Proteus?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I got to Proteus a little bit late, but the floats that I saw of it, like I think I got there at like float 10, something like that. Yeah, but I agree with you. All of the floats that they had were exceptionally beautiful this year. Orpheus as well was exceptionally beautiful. I thought that Bacchus was exceptionally beautiful this year. I liked the variety of the eras that they were covering of American history.
Yeah, the theme was really, it gave them so much room and freedom to kind of do whatever they wanted. And but yeah, I thought they hit it out the park as usual with their theme and float building and decorating and all that stuff. Yeah.
And we glanced over this one. You went to the rendezvous.
Well, I was just about to get to it. So I don't get to see. I hadn't seen Bacchus on the street in a few years. I usually go to the rendezvous, but the past few years I'd seen about the front half when we were over at Temple Day.
Yeah.
But this year, of course, we rode Okeanos, so we just kind of walked over, saw Toth, and then I went, oh God, I gotta get something to eat and drink. So I went, ate and drank, and put on a tuxedo in a parking lot, and, and then walked in. But no, the rendezvous is great. It really is. It's such a nice party. I run into Clark every time somehow in a crowd of, I don't know, 6,000, 7,000 people or whatever it is there.
Yeah.
I don't know, 10, whatever it is. Somehow he finds me every year, which is kind of amazing in that crowd. But no, the bands were good. But, when you start to see that parade come through, it's really fun. I got to see old David Putty, the King.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, our friends, the Brats, come went around and played. I saw a couple of the friends that I know ride on their floats. But, that's a fantastic parade.
I thought that that Bacchus really knocked it out the park with him as their royalty this year. That
I've never seen any of their monarchs celebrate like he did.
Yeah, he was showing up to things that they were like, usually the king doesn't show up to this. And he was like, no, I need to go meet my pages. And he's like, make sure that they know how to throw my doubloons in the best of ways. And and it was basically just to go and take pictures with him and hang out with the kids and know who they,
Man, I saw him at the rendezvous, and he was probably from here to the camera. At one point, I was talking to a couple people and he was just smiling ear to ear. Man, that might be the most fun he's ever had.
Yeah, and he was playing
that's
it
gotta
up.
be quite, a spectacle, because I'm not sure how much he knows about Mardi Gras. Like, it seemed like he had done his research and knew kind of what to expect. I think some of the old kings kind of told him, like, hey, go do this. It's like this. But riding into the convention center with lights and all going, it's a big production. And all those people there, and everybody's in formals, and it's got to be quite the sight,
Yeah.
I think that must rival that turn on to St. Charles as far as wow,
Yeah. So I think that Bacchus probably holds it for me for the most beautiful parade that I attended.
Yeah.
Let's see. Favorite float of the year? Do you have a particular favorite float?
Ooh. I'm gonna have to split that into two parts. So the biggest surprise to me is, of course, from Bacchus with the baby Wappa.
Wappa?
You know,
Yeah.
I had no idea they were gonna make that. And I feel like I hear a lot from Bacchus being a big collector of theirs. I mean, we know Clark. That was totally quiet. Didn't know anything about it, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, oh wait a minute, there's a baby Wappa. You know. I think they just basically put out a Facebook post and announced the birth, you know.
Yeah.
But it's really cute as a butt. And it's a fun little float. But there's a new one. I want to say it's an officer's float that Rex did this year with the Royal Artist built for him. And it was a spectacular float. It's just so pretty with all its colors. And, you know, Rex doesn't do anything, you know, halfway. So
Right.
it was really very nice. So it's got to be, that's 1A and 1B in no particular order.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I'm agreeing your sentiment about the baby Wappa. That yeah, it was a nice surprise.
Yeah.
And that Kern Studios and the folks over at Bacchus, they knocked it out the park with
Yeah.
the
It's so
beauty and to lack of better words, the accuracy of that float. And it's a great little addition
Yeah.
to the Bacchus signature family.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was this way on the route, but going through the rendezvous, it was a tandem to the Wappa.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, it just followed right behind you, like, oh, look at him. Look at him, he's so cute.
Yeah.
Because Wappa is huge, you know?
Let's see. Another one that I would say was really pretty was the I'm pretty sure it's the King's float for King Arthur that they released it last year, and I mean it still was super gorgeous this year.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it since they rolled it, of course, riding in Carrollton, because by the time I offload and walk up to the route, it's past.
Yeah, you're on float 10.
Yeah, I would have to be on the, really early floats to see it. But I've heard it is nice. And I think I saw the Queen was the first one I saw this year. No, that was, but no, I've never seen the King's float. But
Oh, another one that I want to give another honorable mention to. The Trojan horse float in Sparta.
yeah.
That was a really spectacular looking float.
Yeah, I saw it first when we were doing our load-in for Excalibur, and I went and helped Princess Productions over there for Phoenix load her stuff on. Who, sadly, she couldn't ride this year, but no. So I saw it sitting there, and I'm looking at it, and of course Jason's grinning ear to ear. He's ready for it, you know. But yeah, that's very nice. I mean, it fits their motif very, very well. It's always just nice, period, to see these big, fancy signature floats, come along. The one for Iris, the captain's float, is spectacular float.
Yeah, they've got a couple of floats over there that are signatures that are really pretty. The captain's float, the garden float, the sunglasses float.
Yeah.
I don't know if I just not noticed it in years past. The lenses in the eyeglasses are showing I guess highlight shots from
I've noticed it before, but usually it's so sunny that day, it's kind of hard to see it.
Yeah, I happened to notice it. Maybe it was just right when it was passing us, the right moment. The a cloud got in front of the sun or whatever, to where it was that perfect that perfect scenario to see it.
Yeah. The only thing I worry about signature floats is, as crews get older, they build up a lot of these signature floats to where, I mean, and it's hard to say anything bad about Rex because really they just do it so well. But they do have a lot of floats now to where half of the parade is kind of the same
floats,
parade
yeah.
you saw. I mean, they redecorate them, repaint them, so they're not exactly the same. But that's the only thing I worry about with a lot of signature floats is that eventually your whole parade will
It's
be
the same fucking
yeah,
thing that you
you'll
saw
see
last
it
year,
in a
yeah.
different order maybe, but
So the last thing that I have here on my list that I think we would be remiss if we didn't mention it is there was a couple controversies that happened in Carnival this
Yeah.
year. There was 4 or 5 parades that got their wrist slapped, shall we say? To where
putting it lightly.
yeah. Let's see. So in Carrollton, unfortunately, there was a whole float that from what we're going on by what the news has told us, etc., is that there was an entire float that or there was several riders on a float that were humming beads apparently at police officers or
Yeah.
some sort of law enforcement people, which when you sign up to be in a crew, you're expected to hold a certain decorum. There's certain rules, and it's not a whole ton of rules. A lot
You're
of them.
supposed to represent the crew well.
Yeah.
Don't do anything to give it a black eye.
Right.
Being a Carrollton member, I don't want to speak too much for the crew here, but that really doesn't represent that crew. I know a couple of hundred people in it, and it's a bit of a black eye, but I don't like that it happened at all. Nobody does.
Yeah.
So I trust that the crew is going to work with law enforcement, identify the people that had part of that, and take appropriate action. We've been on the road for 102nd year, and I'm not aware of any other incident that was anything near that. So
yeah, I want to see Carrollton roll for another 102 years.
Yeah, the officers and captain of Carrollton are very good, and they're very traditional in how they deal with any sort of controversy like that, because you're not going to risk the reputation of the crew for any single member, and you shouldn't. So I'm sure they'll take appropriate steps. And
I know that it was apparently so extreme that they pulled the entire float. All of the riders on that float. So the thing that's unfortunate is that, let's say, just for sake of argument, if it was you who was throwing stuff in a harmful manner, and I wasn't, well, if I got pulled off of the float because you were misbehaving, well, shit.
That's the good are going to suffer with the bad in that kind of situation.
Unfortunately, that's
the tradition uptown is you have to wear a full coverage mask. My guess is that since they couldn't really identify the person, the whole crew, the whole float suffered.
Right.
I mean, half of those people probably didn't even know what was going on. It was on the other side of the float from them. So, no idea. I mean, obviously, I didn't see it happen, and I wouldn't have thought that the law enforcement would take a step like that unless it were true. So I have no reason to doubt them.
Yeah.
But like I say, it's an embarrassment for the crew, but it doesn't represent the crew.
Yeah.
So.
let's see, Ferret got into a little bit of trouble. Apparently, they had uh, at their pre-parade party, from what I understand, one of their members owns one of the THC seltzers or
Yeah.
CBD seltzers, whatever, and the at the pre-parade party, they were handing out these koozies that one side said Crew Ferret and the other side had the
Yeah, their
logo,
logo
or whatever
on
of that their can has on it, and additionally on the butt of the koozie there was a QR code that went to like a change.org
Yeah.
for
It's for legalization
of marijuana, or
You know, New Orleans is very strict about, keeping commercialization down. They don't want anything political, which, I think the legalization thing sort of looks for.
yeah.
But they don't want advertisement. I think the
Yeah.
only one that they've, and it's just to keep tradition proper. They make a couple of exceptions. I think the Clydesdales, for example, are
Yeah.
one of the main exceptions. But yeah, they just don't want advertisement on it for a very good reason.
Yeah, I mean,
you
it
know?
went so far, that both Bacchus and Iris, I know, were throwing Hubig's pies,
Mhm.
and you were only allowed to throw it if it was emblazoned with the crew logo instead of
Yeah,
Happy Hubig or whatever.
yeah.
the guy's
I
name
got
is.
some when we're at the rendezvous, and they just say "Hail Bacchus" on them.
Yeah,
So, yeah, but and you could throw Chiwis and all that stuff, but a lot of companies have made kind of a generic bag where it just says Happy Mardi Gras cheese curls or whatever it says
Right.
on it, something like that. So you could still throw whatever, but they don't want any sort of advertisement,
yeah.
which, yeah,
Oh.
I don't either.
Which I have to imagine that the person who was, that the koozie that got thrown was.
It was quite a bit. I mean, I did find a couple of them.
Oh, you did?
They're kind of nice. But yeah, I don't know if it was.
I just assumed that was a situation where, someone had it sitting there on the edge of the float, and they were like, oh,
Yeah,
throwing
but
and
same thing. I mean,
accidentally threw.
I'm sure Ferret was not aware of this, so
Yeah.
to me that doesn't reflect on the crew. It just
Yeah.
means somebody didn't understand the rules. you
Right.
know. It's hard for me to think somebody did that in mean spirit or whatever. So like, I'm breaking the rules. I don't care. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
But-
Tux had one, another situation where, so they were throwing
It's basically Barbie dolls.
Barbie dolls, yeah. And apparently there was one of the floats where the guy had the Barbies tied up on a bead to where the bead happened to be around their neck. And
Yeah, which is
and at the it seemed like, I don't know if multiples of them were hanging over, but there was a picture taken where there was only one of them that was hanging over at that exact moment,
yeah.
and it happened to be a black Barbie doll.
Yeah, so first of all, I know Crew of Tux immediately got rid of that member. They don't want that sort of reputation,
Right.
even though they are a very, very diverse crew.
Yes.
Uh,
But on the
but
same
you
note,
can't
I
do
do want-
something that gets perceived as racist.
Yeah.
It's just, that's
but
bad.
on the same note, as a rider, I know a lot of folks that'll take a bead and put it around
Yeah.
a plush or a doll
Mm-hmm.
or things like that to give it a little bit of extra weight, so that when they throw it, they can reach
Yeah, you can reach a little further.
the people who are in the ladders in the back.
Yeah,
or
and I
whatever.
can tell you that crowd is as thicker than we saw for Okeanos. So, Yeah, you want to be able to do it. And from what I understand, the guy had black and white dolls.
Yeah.
But
So I don't think that his intentions were to make a racist statement.
no, I think you have to be a little more aware.
Yeah, awareness is where I think that guy could have succeeded a little better.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, I would like to think that because I understand he had black and white dolls. I would like to think that, he was giving the black ones to the black girls, the white ones to the white girls. That's what they would enjoy more,
Yeah.
right? I would hope there was no ill intent there, but it's a little boneheaded, man. You have to be more aware how things can be perceived.
And then the next day in Toth, there was another float where they cleared the entire float.
I'm confused about that one because initially they were saying they threw it at the officers who were ICE agents, and then I heard later that they were throwing it at people that were protesting ICE, and then later I heard they didn't have anything to do with it, but they all got pulled off, and I'm like, so I don't know the story there.
What I understood is that they were throwing beads at people who had signs that say, and apologies for the vulgarities, but it said "fuck ICE" on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I recall seeing the signs when we were riding in Okeanos earlier that morning. And what I will say is, when I was a child, at one point I had a sign that I went to a parade with, and it was like right when the first Persian Gulf War stuff was going on, and I had a sign that said, bomb Saddam and shock Iraq, or something like that.
Jeez,
and I drew them, I drew them out and put a target on them. And I had this sign, knowing full well that when I held up this sign, I was going to get bombarded with bees.
Yeah.
Now, I would have to imagine that these people who had these signs had them up there specifically as a target. I mean, that when you have a sign out at a parade route, you have it there specifically to be a target.
Yeah.
Now, the part that I don't know all the details to is were the people who were throwing at them throwing, in a forceful manner.
Well, how far back were they? Because
were they throwing at them forcefully in a sign of disagreement, or were they
trying to reach him?
Yeah.
See, I don't know enough about that story. I heard that everyone on that float was cleared of wrongdoing.
Yes.
It almost sounded like they were suggesting that maybe it had come from across the street. I don't know, from other parade goers. I'm not sure. But my opinion on that whole situation is, let's just not have politics in Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
There's no need for it. That's supposed to be a time when we're all getting together and having fun.
Well, I guess one exception is
the satire.
The satire on floats themselves.
Yeah, I mean, that, because I think those crews do a very good job, Chaos and Data, of poking fun of everybody.
Yeah.
They just don't care. They're not picking sides or anything like that.
Yes.
I mean, you can look at individual floats and say, yeah, they are picking sides, but if you look at the parade as a whole, nah. It's usually just poke fun of politicians that are easy targets, Right,
so. Yeah, one float will have something that might be making fun of, Joe Biden, and the next float will be making fun of Donald Trump.
Yeah, I think you have to look at those parades as a whole to really appreciate them.
Yeah.
But let's just leave politics out of Mardi Gras, and we're all having fun together. that's the way it's supposed to be before
Yeah,
it was so politically charged out there where you really couldn't talk to anybody anymore without
well,
upsetting or being upset by somebody.
the last one though that we saw was with Zulu, where apparently someone riding in Zulu had a glass bottle of booze
Mhm.
that I didn't quite understand if it was like a full, like
Yeah, it was a bottle of whiskey. Nobody's throwing a bottle of whiskey off a float. I'd have to imagine they were making a cocktail and knocked it off, you know. But it hit a little girl and she had to get stitches. So it was,
yeah,
that has to be avoided. So number one, no glass bottles on the float. That's
yeah. Every year
a
you
very
spend,
wide rule.
yeah,
you
every
know?
year. In fact, this year on our way to the float, you were like, "Stop and sit at Rouse's. I need to go and get some squirt bottles for my king cake."
Yeah, it has to happen. But
Yeah,
but yeah, no glass bottles on the float, and that's the reason why.
yeah,
Because they're not light, especially if they're tumbling from a top deck or something. By the time it hits somebody, it's coming out of force. Uh, so yeah, I mean, to me that was completely unintentional, but the girl did get hurt. So
yeah.
uh,
But because of all of these controversies,
mhm.
I know that there's been legislation that's been
Yeah, proposed.
proposed
Yeah.
saying, that it'll be officially illegal to throw heavy-handedly.
Yeah, to me,
And
there's no way to police that. And you
yeah.
have-
Well, the thing that I see that's a problem is, that what you consider to be heavy-handed might be totally different from what I consider to be
Yeah.
heavy-handed, which might be completely different from what the next person thinks is. So it's like, how do you figure out what becomes that forcefulness?
Yeah. Especially behind masks, you can't see. If somebody's chucking something to somebody 20 rows back, well, it's got to be forceful. And by the time that's coming down to you, man, if you don't catch it or get out of the way, it could hurt.
Yeah.
We've all been there at Temple Day, sitting next to the van. You know what I mean? And things are coming.
Right.
But I don't think anybody's trying to hurt us. That's how you have to throw it to reach you. But if you're in the front row, there's no reason for you to overhand it to people.
Right.
But that's too much of a judgment call for me. I don't like the legislation of it. We have float lieutenants on every float. Guys that take pride or gals that take pride in their crew that don't want to see anybody hurt. You're out there to provide entertainment, not hurt anybody.
Right.
So, and the crews I think all do a good job of policing themselves of members that don't belong in the crew any longer. So I don't feel that there's a need for legislation. I just think riders need to be a little more aware of themselves, especially if you're going to be drinking or
Yeah.
what have you.
Yeah. Go out there and have fun.
Mhm.
Don't try and hurt people.
Yeah,
If your idea of hurting people, or if your idea of a good time is humming beads at people to hurt them, then maybe riding in Mardi Gras isn't the thing for you. I hope that all of these crews can help resolve the problems. I don't want to see the council have to step in and do foolish knee-jerk reactions like pulling permits or
yeah. I don't see anything
heavy
like that
fines or anything like that. That unfortunately, when you have a group of 500, 700, 1,000 people, unfortunately, sometimes there might be some bad actors.
Yeah, with the budget shortfalls, I wouldn't be surprised if every crew that we just mentioned got a lofty fine. I don't see any legislation happening from that, and I would think for the reason I stated is, just basically because there's really no way to really police that, and if you start pulling people randomly off the floats who are really not intending anything bad, then that's bad.
Yeah.
But then again, you can't just allow a free-for-all.
Right.
That's why I really think the parades and their float lieutenants need to police themselves, and let's just do it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Solve the problems internally.
Yeah.
But overall, I do think that, Carnival 2026 was a great success.
Yeah, I'm still upset that I missed that whole week, really, because I missed Muses. I missed, a lot of those parades that second week. But, I got to take 3 rides, which is fantastic. I still have, 2 more parades I'm in coming up here soon. So that'll be a lot of fun. And but, yeah, I thought all the crews, from what I saw, really did a outstanding job, starting at Titan, ending, at Rex out here, or even so for Argus and all. But, it was a lot of fun this year. I love that we got to do so much extracurricular things. But I would say my favorite thing, hands down, was watching your face making that first ride uptown, man.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you
that
were
was
in hog's
incredible.
heaven, man.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. If you've never ridden Uptown before, do yourself the favor and find a crew that you'd potentially like to join and get to know them a little bit and give it an opportunity.
So did that ride convince you that you need to find a crew, or what?
Very much so. Yeah. Yes. That was absolutely incredible, and
It had to be kind of eye-opening,
yeah, I mean, it's just like they say, like when you're a drug addict or whatever, that once you get that first taste,
Yeah, try this out.
you want more. I've gotten my first taste of riding Uptown, and I want more.
Any of them on your mind?
Or
not that
just
you
yet.
want to admit.
Yeah, not just yet. So I'm keeping my eyes open to see what I can choose.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was amazing. So, Mr. Kirk, thank you for helping make my my Mardi Gras 2026 such an amazing time.
Yeah. You the same. Let's do it again next year.
Yeah. So, again, happy Carnival to everyone. Hope you had as great of a Carnival season as we did. Signing out. We'll see you on the route.